Billionaire CEO was just finishing work and preparing to go home. Unexpectedly, he was hit in the groin by a flying stick. It turned out that a girl nearby was teaching a scumbag a lesson. She accidentally flung the stick. After the girl took the CEO to the hospital for treatment, the doctor said the patient's leg was severely injured. An ultrasound examination revealed that his testicles were shattered, and that he would never be able to have children. Upon hearing the results, the girl immediately felt an overwhelming sense of guilt. At that moment, she also learned from a nurse that the patient had been jilted by his fiancé because of his disability. After hearing this, the girl immediately went into the ward to apologize. But when she opened the door, she saw the CEO opening a window. She immediately rushed over and hugged him tightly, and said she was willing to marry him as compensation. Little did she know, he was merely on the phone with his mother. When he hung up the phone and turned around, he discovered that the girl was the senior who once stood up for him in school. From then on, the girl became the CEO's first love in his heart. Who would have thought that they would meet again in such an awkward manner? The girl immediately apologized, saying it was an accident that hurt him, and she promised to take full responsibility for his shattered testicles. She added that if he died, she would feel guilty for the rest of her life. The CEO listened with a puzzled expression. In fact, the patient the doctor mentioned was not the CEO. However, the woman mistakenly thought that the CEO's condition was caused by her, so she proactively proposed to marry the CEO. The CEO was immediately thrilled upon hearing this. He never expected that his secret first love would take the initiative to marry him. To prevent the girl from having a change of heart, he immediately took her to the Civil Affairs Bureau to obtain a marriage certificate. Afterwards, to hide his identity as a billionaire CEO, he rushed to the company and had his assistant act as CEO in his stead, while he went off to spend his honeymoon with his new wife. A few days later, the girl, along with her husband, came to a hotel for business negotiations. Unexpectedly, they encountered one of the CEO's subordinates there. Upon hearing the subordinate call her husband the CEO, she immediately became suspicious of her husband's identity. The assistant hurried over to explain that the supervisor had been drunk and was rambling. The supervisor immediately understood that the CEO did not want his identity revealed, so he pretended to cooperate and left together with the assistant. This finally dispelled the girl's suspicions. After entering the hotel suite, the girl stated that this collaboration project was extremely important, and she instructed her husband not to speak, just to focus on eating. Unexpectedly, the one who came to discuss the collaboration was the CEO's assistant. To avoid exposing the secret, the CEO quickly signaled for the assistant to sit down. The assistant stated that the CEO was busy and could not come, so he was representing the CEO in the business negotiation with the girl. Then, the assistant opened the project proposal that the girl had handed over, while the CEO merely coughed, and the assistant, without even looking at the contents of the proposal, reached a deal. This greatly surprised the girl. Subsequently, the CEO hinted to the assistant again, asking him to increase the share given to the girl to $100 million. The girl excitedly stood up, and drank several rounds of grape juice with the assistant, and ended up being drunkenly carried home by the CEO. The CEO carried her to bed, preparing to leave, but she grabbed him and wouldn't let him go.